Twitter. Everyone's favorite platform for shitposting in 140 characters or less. They've been getting up to quite a lot of shenanigans lately, from terms of service tweaks to soft censorship to the latest rumor that is spreading, that they're gonna begin rolling out a new feature called non-chronological timeline. Now, whether they're actually gonna roll this feature out or not is still up in the air. Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, he did some damage control today, claiming that the timeline would only become non-chronological under specific, special circumstances. But that just makes their motivation even clearer, in my view. More on that later. But let's examine what this change would entail if they were to actually go through with it. Basically, as Twitter works right now, what you see on your home feed is exactly what all the users that you're following are sending out, in the order that it's sent out, with some promoted tweets interspersed. I mean, that's how they make their money after all, by data mining their users so that people can be shown advertisements relevant to their interests. What a non-chronological timeline would enable is for Twitter to provide certain levels of curation to the content that's shown to its users. It would prioritize what it thinks is the most relevant to its users' interests, and sync content that it doesn't think its users should see. This is a lot like how Facebook works today. Now, Jack Dorsey claimed that he doesn't want Twitter to be another Facebook clone, that it would only show curated content at specific times. But none of these features are what Twitter users actually want. In fact, recent trends on the platform itself demonstrate that many users hate these ideas so much that they believe that implementing them would deliver a fatal blow to Twitter. There's been some speculation that these changes are being made to pander to the vocal social justice advocates that riddle Twitter's platform, and who keep making a big stink about imaginary concepts like internet violence and harassing tweets. While I do believe that Twitter may use them as a scapegoat for certain changes, I mean, SJWs are useful idiots after all, the reason why Twitter wants to be more like Facebook may run quite a bit deeper than just protecting people's fifis. We don't even have to speculate about the effects of non-chronological timelines, of curated content, and of giving priority to certain content at certain times. We have actual examples in the form of Facebook and what Facebook is able to do using these features. And what Facebook has done is perform experiments to see how it can affect users by subtly tweaking what information is presented to them. In January of 2012, Facebook decided that it was going to manipulate the content that it was showing to its users initially. Some were shown mostly happy, positive, and feel-good content, whereas other users were shown more content that was sad, negative, or depressing in nature. This was perfectly legal, as their terms of use allow them to do this, and you signed that contract when you joined up with them. The result of this experiment was that they could actually change the moods and attitudes of their users. The people shown the happy stuff, they became happier, and the people shown unhappy stuff became less happy. They called this effect emotional contagion. They also found that manipulating users' emotions like this was actually beneficial to Facebook itself. The more emotionally bland the statuses a user saw were, the less content they posted. In other words, showing users more emotionally charged content made them better users of the service. So there you have it. Right there, that's a direct incentive for companies to manipulate the content that users see. It turns their users into better users, more productive users, more profitable users, more data to mine for advertisers. So we've established that showing selective content can change people's moods. But can we take it even farther than that? Can it be used to change behaviors or deliver more effective calls to action? Well, BJ Fogg of the Stanford Persuasive Tech Lab had something downright remarkable to say about Facebook. Let me read this out in full. One of the Persuasive Tech Lab's projects has been to investigate Facebook and persuasion. This builds on the lab's previous research into how Web 2.0 companies motivate and persuade people. Facebook's huge success is directly linked to its ability to persuade users. In BJ Fogg's view, the best way to understand Facebook is to explore how this service is a platform for motivating and persuading people. No other perspective gives such insight into what makes Facebook tick. In other words, the psychology of Facebook is, at its core, the psychology of persuasion. Now, that's a fucking remarkable statement if I've ever heard one. He's not simply saying that Facebook can be used to persuade users, but that you get the best and most insightful perspectives on Facebook by viewing Facebook through the lens of persuasive technology. So how does Facebook's non-chronologicalness aid in this? Well, it's pretty simple. It allows them to, buzzword warning, put hot triggers in the path of motivated people.
You mentioned the mantra, put hot triggers in the path of all motivated people. Now, what was so revelatory for you with that mantra?
Yeah, so those 9 words, put hot triggers in the path of motivated people. It's like, I call it my design mantra, because that's what you need to do to win in the consumer space. If you're not triggering behaviors, if you're not putting it in their existing paths would be like email inbox, their Facebook newsfeed, their Twitter stream, things they're already doing, you put triggers into those paths, and you focus on the motivated people first and foremost, and you don't try to get people who don't care about what you're doing, because there's enough people out there. If you're doing something cool, there's enough people out there that will already want to do it, so you got to find them and trigger them. And that's the thing about those 9 words. So I've been looking at persuasive technology since 1993, and it's taken me, so many years to finally boil it down to like one phrase, a design mantra, put hot triggers in the path of motivated people. Well, here it is. I wish I would have known sooner. We all learn, I guess.
Basically, with social media, you have enough people who already have the motivation and ability to change their behavior, that all you have to do is fulfill the final condition, create a trigger, a call to action, to bring about that behavior change. Having curated sections of social media allows for the right hot triggers to be delivered to the right people, to bring about widespread enough behavior change to bring about other widespread changes. This type of thing has been used in politics before, even without non-chronological timelines. Obama has used it to promote his healthcare reform platform, for example.
There, I noticed that Barack Obama had posted something to Twitter. I saw it in my feed here. And here's what it says. Members of Congress need to know you support the plan laid out in last night's address. Please call your reps today. So here, there's no question, Barack Obama and his team, they're using Twitter to change people's behaviors, to motivate people to call the reps. Notice how what you'll see in the next few steps, they tap into the 3 things that I say are important for behavior change: motivation, ability, and trigger.
So there we go. You can scream tinfoil all you like, but all that I've presented is simply a bunch of pretty indisputable facts. Fact: Twitter is rumored to be making some changes to its platform that allow them to curate the content that is shown to its users initially, and is known to have been performing experiments on how to increase the amount of algorithmically curated content in its users' feeds. While Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, says this will only be under specific circumstances, that's still enough. Fact: Platforms with similar algorithms, like Facebook, have successfully changed its users' moods and attitudes simply by tweaking its algorithm. Fact: The Persuasive Tech Lab at Stanford is deeply interested in how placing certain content in the right place and at the right time can motivate behavior change in users of social media. And fact: People have used knowledge of persuasive technology for political purposes in the past. Now, I want you to think on all this, and throw in the realization that there's elections on the horizon. I wonder what could motivate someone to tweak their social media website right now at this particular point in time.